Games, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, and we're doing a tier list ranking. We did a tier list ranking for a biggie. 50 horror villains chosen by me. We're going to put into position. As many as I could think of based off ones that just came straight to my head, plus a little research here and there for other ones people kind of decided that were memorable and things like that. We have 5 ranks. We have the legendary ranking, B-list, memorable, okay, and rubbish. We're going to do this kind of based off cultural impact, as much and as well like impact in movies, how memorable they are based off that, how good their film was. This is really the reason why that's got to apply. It's because it's for the famous ones, your Michael Myers, your Freddy Kruegers, your Jason Voorhees, the ones that are ingrained in pop culture.
Also, like, would it like say Halloween? If you come to a party dressed as a character, would you have to explain it? One of them kind of costumes, you have to explain how clever it is.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, I'm this person. Oh, okay.
Absolutely. All right. And we get started with an interesting one. One that I originally wasn't even going to put into it. But I ended up going, okay, it'll make up the 50, so why not? It is Mr. Babadook.
Ooh, that's a good one.
From the Babadook. This is a sort of a personification more than anything else. It's a kind of black-hatted character. Better portrayed when she reads the storybook. To her son, where you get the kind of visual images of it. You occasionally see it, kind of like distance and background, but it's never really seen as a villain in the same way. This is a toughie, because as a villain, I don't really see it as a villain. I see it more as a personification of something else. Mental health issues. So I don't think it's a ghostly figure and things like that.
It did make an impact because that film kind of it was quite creepy and it kind of stayed with me. Like most horror films, I can literally go, oh well. But something about it really stayed with me. The
movie or it, Mr. Babadook?
The actual look of it, I found it quite... Because I say, it's supposed to be... It could have been taken one way or another, but the way it's been tweaked to make it look creepy kind of resonated with me a bit more. Like certain things, like example, say, going to a music video is like Black Hole Sun, when the faces go from smiling to like horrific smiles. This kind of made me the same.
Okay.
So and that kind of stayed with me a lot longer. So if someone said the Babadook, I'm like, yeah, that film was good.
So where would you put it?
I put memorable because I automatically picture it and how kind of creepy I found it.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the fact that I can picture it almost immediately, just hearing it, and I think that says its impact on full stop. Yeah, I think it's a good start. We start off with memorable there. Now we get to a really interesting one. We are looking at Sherry Moon Zombie's portrayal of Baby Firefly from House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell. So, this was... I knew this was going to be hard because I've grown over the film's trilogy to heavily dislike this character.
Yeah.
To find it quite irritating and forced at times. Yeah. And maybe it's not... I don't think it's like Sherry Moon Zombie per se, but it's difficult because I think the baby from House of a Thousand Corpses is quite different to the baby that you get in The Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell. In House of a Thousand Corpses, I think she's more baby-like. Yeah. She's got obviously that evil, twisted, angry edge that comes through and maddening and stuff like that. But whereas in Devil's Rejects, she comes across harder, rougher, like she's had a tougher life. Yeah. Whereas in the first one, it seemed like she was sheltered more than anything else. Yeah. But it is an iconic character in that sense. Like I hear the laugh. Yeah. I hear that high-pitched laugh. Yeah. What film of the 3 would you say you prefer her the most in? The version of Baby Firefly?
I think Devil's Rejects.
Okay.
I think because that's like the in-betweener. I think, say, by the third one, it's just too much.
Yep.
It's just... I find it irritating by the last film. The middle one, I like the sort of harder edge.
So, and I think she's good in House of a Thousand Corpses as well. So that's 2 out of 3. So I think that at least makes it memorable. Yeah. But do you think it goes above Babadook or after?
Lower than Babadook.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but we'll leave it there for now. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Buffalo Bill.
Yay!
James Goom? James Goom is his actual name?
What, the guy that plays him?
No,
James...
Buffalo Bill's the nickname they give him. But James Goom, G-U-M-B? Gum. It's James Gum, a.k.a. Buffalo Bill, from The Silence of the Lambs. An interesting one, because ultimately I think he's almost a forgotten villain of this movie, because obviously Hannibal Lecter is so front and centre. But ultimately our villain of the movie is Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult, I think, to kind of put him any higher than memorable straight away, purely because when you think Silence of the Lambs, you think Hannibal Lecter, you think Clarice Starling.
Yeah, I think most of his part is like the people that quote like the lotion.
Yeah.
And the Would You Fuck Me part, the dancing about.
He has, though, some of the most iconic scenes in it.
Yeah.
You know, and the ending in the house with the night vision goggles and all that. And the picture I've used to portray him is him answering the door.
Yeah.
The good-looking man. What is his name? What is the actor's name? He portrays so many... He's got a great voice, a wonderful voice.
Well, he's a guy in... not Wrong Turn. Joyride.
Joyride,
yeah. Candy Cane. No,
he's the voice of he's the voice of the trucker who said Candy Cane. Yeah. He has that wonderful southern drawl, which really sticks in your mind. You know, we fuck me. You know,
I remember his manky hands when he was making stuff. I was like, ugh. That sounds really weird, but like as a villain, I'm like, oh, he's got manky, long nails. It's disgusting. But yeah, I know what you mean. I think because obviously Lecter, I think he kind of knows the way the brain's working because that's how he plays. He's starting off, doesn't he? He goes, try looking here, try looking here. So I really like him, but yeah, I don't think I think he wouldn't be any more than memorable.
Yep, but I think top of memorable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're stuck in memorable at the moment. That might change now as we now reach Tony Todd's portrayal of Candyman. Now, this is a problem because we have to base this off all works. And Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh, Candyman 3, Day of the Dead takes some serious missteps with this character, in my opinion, that I think damaged the legacy.
Because I would say legendary because I've only seen the first film, and from that I couldn't imagine anyone's playing him as well.
Here's the thing, I agree. The best thing about the sequels is often his portrayal still. But obviously, they really delved and went harder on the sympathetic character with a lot more about his backstory, the slave backstory and what happened and stuff like that. That was a concern of mine because I get it and I think the backstory's fine, but they really pushed on hard, particularly Day of the Dead, the third one. Really wanted to make him romanticize him as a character. That came across fine in the first one, but ultimately he is a villain. It goes in legendary. It does. Even with all of that, simply because I consider Candyman one of the best horror movies ever made. It is a 10 out of 10 movie.
It's grim.
I use the term, it's grubby. From beginning to end, it is a grubbiness that stands out. And every time he appears in this movie, how he appears, it has such weight. From his voice, to the visuals, to the image, to the ending. It is, to me, Tony Todd's most iconic role. It was amazing. And the shit he did for it, the bee stings, he got paid X amount of money per bee sting. The real bees, the picture I'm using has bees on his face. They were real bees. He really,
I can't think of nothing worse.
This remake, sequel, whatever it is coming out.
I'm interested.
I'm intrigued, but I also I can't be too positive at this stage because I haven't seen it, but also... For me, this is dangerous territory because I can't see, and from the trailer, I thought it looked too clean, which to me lacked what I love about Candyman, which is that feeling of constant dirt and underplayedness. I don't know if you're going to get the class system across well. I don't know how they're going to do that. That's to be decided. That's not for this now. We're basing it off Tony Todd's portrayal, which for me is legendary. Yeah,
it's the voice, is everything. You hear his voice and go, oh, yeah, that's Candyman. So, yeah, there's no...
That scene, the first time he makes his first voice appearance beyond the introduction in the car park, and he's just standing in the distance, I think that's incredible. Yeah. Okay, then we go back to Rob Zombie's world for Captain Spaulding, portrayed by the late Sid Haig in House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and little part of Three from Hell.
Oh, because he was really ill by
He was really ill. He was really ill. Couldn't really do it. So they killed him off in the movie, unfortunately, which is a shame, but it is what it is. For starters, this goes straight ahead of Baby. This is way more memorable. Sid Haig's portrayal in all of them, even the brief bit he gets in Three from Hell, is brilliant stuff. The opening of House of a Thousand Corpses with the robbers and he's just fucked your mum and the chicken and all that, brilliant. The story about Dr. Satan with the ride and the Devil's Rejects, so many great moments when he robs the lady about, I need your fucking cut, and he's so twisted and sinister, but also got that clown laughing and grinning and Yeah, this is...
He's got the bants, isn't he?
It's a brilliant portrayal by Sid Haig, who is a brilliant portrayal, and I'd say he's probably the most memorable character of the, at least the first two, because
I think
he's
the
enough.
look helps.
Yeah.
Because obviously a clown makeup would stand out more, and obviously the foul language that comes out that clown's mouth, kind of, I like the balance of that, like carnival freak. Yeah, smart talking carnival freak. He's been around a bit. He's
he's a carny through and through. Yeah,
that's what I really like, and it goes along with the story. So,
I think it's B-list.
Yeah,
I think it's B-list.
Yeah.
I think it's more than memorable.
Yeah.
I think when people think of those movies, they probably think Captain Spaulding, if not another one who is obviously in this list, and we will get to him.
Yeah.
Right, talking about dolls, we are now up to our first doll. It is Chucky of Child's Play / Chucky movies. Brilliantly voiced by oh my god, Brad Dourif. Thank you. His character, it's Charles Lee Ray, which is the villain whose soul goes into Chucky, and that's it. And Brad Dourif is one of my favourite horror actors. I would urge you to go see his portrayal in The Exorcist 3. Don't presume just because it's The Exorcist 3 it's a bad movie. Exorcist 3 is really, really good. And Brad Dourif is wonderful in that. Absolutely wonderful. And he is Chucky. He is the voice of Chucky. Incredibly important thing. Obviously, the modern version has been portrayed by Mark Hamill. I haven't seen it. I don't know how good it is. However, I trust it. Mark Hamill is a wonderful voice actor.
Oh yeah, I was from Batman, from
Joker.
Batman games.
Joker,
yeah.
Games, TV series. He was more the Joker than many others.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
So I've not seen. I've seen a bit of the one with Jennifer Tilly in it.
Which Bride, Seed? Which one? There's a couple.
Bride.
Okay.
I've seen a little bit of that, but not enough to kind of know anything about the Chucky. I know he is. Say pop culture Chucky. Everyone knows who Chucky is.
Yep.
Everyone.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can judge the films by not see what I mean. I don't know.
Well, I can.
So 80s classics, but
I can. Child's Play movies are good. None of them are particularly bad. I haven't seen Bride of Chucky. I've seen Seed of Chucky and I've seen Cult of Chucky, and I always enjoyed them. I enjoy them. I enjoy the character. I enjoy the voice. It's great voice acting. I love how they made the model animatronic almost so that it moves with its mouth, can look angry and all that. Brad Dourif does an amazing job. To me, this is B-list.
Yep.
Ahead of Captain Spaulding.
Yeah.
And up next, we go to the first of the pets. It is Cujo, the Saint Bernard dog from the movie Cujo, Stephen King adapted.
Never seen it.
Okay, obviously this is a Saint Bernard that gets rabies and basically terrorizes a woman, which is Dee Wallace, and her son, and they get trapped inside a car and they're trying to escape. It's a very, very harsh movie to watch. This dog is as a villain. So this is going to be one of the first low ones.
Yeah.
Now the dog is an amazing dog actor. Does really, really hard, works hard. It's constantly covered in goop and gore and stuff like that.
The picture you got, I'm like, oh look, I just want to give him a big cuddle. Look.
That's the thing. It is a victim of circumstances.
Yeah.
It is bitten.
It's got you can't stop the spread of rabies. You get bitten by
a
rabid
dog.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And ultimately, as well, it's easy to remember it. Can't even say it's memorable because the dog is in the name title. It's the same name as the dog. It's okay, basically.
Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah. This is an easy one just to put straight into okay, I think.
Yeah.
Right, up next we have Damien Thorne of The Omen. I've chosen to base it off the original Omen only. The reason being is because ultimately, if you know the original Omen movies, we actually follow Damien through his years. The original Omen is the young Damien. The second Omen is teenage Damien. And the third Omen is young adult, portrayed by Sam Neill, of all people. The third Omen is Damien as a young adult.
That's bizarre casting.
So I am basing this solely off the original Omen.
But that's good. That's the one I've seen.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to do it. It's the most memorable version of him, I do believe. Yeah, as a villain, it's a difficult one. This one, as a villain goes, it's like horror films with kids in. I've always been a bit. Yeah, for me. It's more the circumstances around him that it is, protecting him. It's more about things that protect. But the kid that portrayed him had this great stare, and he does kill his own mother by knocking her off the balcony. There's a lot of good shit in that related, but I don't think it's like.
Okay, memorable because Damien, everyone, and there's a lot of references to Damien. If you look like kids mucking about and being like complete
True.
Complete shitbag. You go, oh, it's Damien.
Yeah, it's true. Very good point.
Check the back of his head. Check his
For
check
666, yeah. Okay, where would you put it in memorable then?
Between Buffalo Bill and Babadook.
And Babadook, yeah, that's actually a good place, yeah. Right, this next one I don't believe you will know.
Go on.
It is Dr. Schnard of Hellraiser 2. Hellbound Hellraiser 2.
Oh, I thought it was Pinhead.
No, this is Dr. Schnard, who becomes the main villain of Hellraiser 2. The Doctor, who's a bit of a villain, as a human, he's a bit of a villain anyway. He wants to... He wants to experience what Kirsty did in the first film, so sets up the experiments, brings Julia back, falls in love with her, gets manipulated by her, wanting to see the dimension that the Cenobites come from, ends up going there and gets pushed into a machine that turns him into what you see in that picture.
Yeah.
He has a shit ton of slapstick one-liners. When he comes back as the villain, the Doctor is in and stuff like that.
See, I think I'm really on board because I do like puns.
He looks great. Like the wires through his face, the monster that has attached to his head. He floats. He's got these tentacles like Dr. Octopus. For me, this is so memorable. That Schnard is so fucking memorable. Bottom of memorable. Yeah. But I really, really remember this fucker. Always really stands out. Yeah. Okay, up next is a villain that has been portrayed by so many. Yeah. But I have chosen the version that we realistically most know best. Yeah. It is Count Dracula, portrayed by Christopher Lee. Of course, there are many different variations in it. You could like whatever, but I have gone for the one that I think automatically goes in legendary. It's Dracula portrayed by Christopher Lee.
I've not seen this film, this portrayal of it. I've only seen...
Any of them. There were quite a few.
I've seen Gary Oldman play Dracula.
Yep.
And I liked him. I thought he did quite a good job of getting both. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Gary Oldman, so I thought he did a good job. But yeah, obviously I know Christopher Lee and Dracula. Again, culturally, Jesus.
Culturally, exactly that. Yeah. When you think of Dracula... No matter their age, I think it's Christopher Lee most think of. And here's the thing, a lot of the movies aren't always great. Lee himself had massive issues with them, you know? There's one that's famous, apparently, there wasn't much... Dracula's no dialogue because Lee refused to read it because he thought it was rubbish, you know? Whether that's true or not is disputable, but it's still a funny story. Yeah. But it's so iconic. Yeah. It is legend, and I think it's top of legendary. Yeah. I think it's Dracula. Yeah. And continuing with that theme, we now have Freddy Krueger as portrayed by Robert Englund. I'm ignoring Jackie Earle Haley's variation in this, I'm afraid. It was only one movie, and I don't actually blame Jackie for it. I think Jackie is a fantastic actor. He's awesome. And I just think it was a bad makeup, bad decision, and a lot of things just didn't work out for that. Ultimately, when we think of Freddy Krueger, we think of Robert's version of Freddy Krueger. However, we reach a real problem with him, which is the movies and the variations on how the makeup would be, and then the forcing through of more comedic edges to make it more silly. If I was judging Freddy Krueger's iconic status on movies alone, it wouldn't go very high because a lot of those sequels are bad. Yeah. Like, I can't tell you how bad things like Freddy's Dead is, you know? Yeah. And how do you rank this one up against Wes Craven's New Nightmare, the version of Freddy and Nat that's a little bit darker, a little bit cooler looking, the different outfit, the hat? Ultimately, though,
he is very
fucking pop icon, pop cultural icon. Yeah, it is as simple as that. Yeah. It is a legendary portrayal. There's no argument. Yeah. I think after Dracula, before Candyman. Yeah. Okay. More modern, we go to the 90s. We go for what is a weird villain, because ultimately it's what the real villain's the one underneath the mask. But that's not what you remember. No. It is Ghostface from Scream. Yeah. So obviously it's the mask with the big enlarged mouth, the white face, and the black outfit. It's a funny one, this, because it's not. I said it's not really. That's not really the villain. That's the personification of the villain. Yeah,
it's just a Halloween costume, cheap Halloween costume.
It is, and that's very important. It is just a cheap Halloween costume.
They make a joke reference to it,
don't they? Does that face iconic?
Yeah. Also, culturally, everyone knows.
Yeah, I think it's famous.
Scream, parodied in Scary Movie with the whole "was up" when he's like got stoned face and they kind of play around with it. So.
The fact that it never had a name in the movies, we gave it this name of Ghostface. But not legendary. Can't go up there with them. I think top of B list.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, we're going to have a dispute in this one, I think. So we come to Hannibal Lecter himself, portrayed by the image from The Silence of the Lambs, but also from Red Dragon and also from Hannibal. I'm using the Anthony Hopkins Hannibal, not the TV series portrayed by Mads Mikkelsen. I can't say his last name. Mads Mikkelsen. Or the kind of prequel ones played by a younger version and stuff like that.
Yeah, what they called? Oh, I think it's like
Hannibal Rising.
Hannibal Rising. Yeah.
We are just doing the Anthony Hopkins variation on him. Now, it's hard because it is such a legendary character. Oh my Christ. The parodying of these lines. Yeah. You could watch Dumb and Dumber. They parody it there. Everything is parodied. It's everything. Kids shows have parodied it as if like, you know, you watch a fucking Pixar movie, a Disney or DreamWorks movie, and I'll make a Hannibal Lecter joke then. It's like, do you think children have seen The Silence of the Lambs? Because few parents, regardless of, you're not letting your kid watch that movie. No. Off Silence of the Lambs, absolutely iconic. Yeah. Red Dragon, but here's the thing: he's not the main villain, bar one. I think. Yeah. I think Hannibal, I think you could put him up there, even though you have Gary Oldman's weird thing going on. Yeah. Hannibal's the focus in that movie. Yeah. But I don't really like Hannibal. No. So it's a hard one to judge. But then it's like, fuck, you know, Silence of the Lambs is so iconic. So fucking iconic.
I just think, it's just Hannibal Lecter's so well known.
Yeah.
And his intelligence is the scary part. Because he's a real human. He's not a cyborg or an alien. He's a real life character. Yeah. I think we have to be realistic here. He goes in legendary. Yeah. He does. Oh, yeah, and I think he goes ahead of Candyman. Maybe after Freddy. Yep. Yeah, I think it's realistic. Yeah. Okay, here's a fun one. A bit of a lesser known one. We have Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine and My Bloody Valentine 3D, the remake. The outfit, it's very dark, the image, but the outfit is a miner's outfit. So gas mask and stuff like that. Synonymous with the films if you know them. Yeah. That in itself is a problem. Yeah. That if you have to know them. Yeah, because when you say My Bloody Valentine, I wouldn't associate that with a person in a mining costume. Nope. I'd think of some sort of like suave lady killer, like one of them serial killers that goes around killing women and stuff like that. Like a Lonely Hearts column goes around killing women. I wouldn't put that with that. Nope. So it's weird. I'd go for okay.
I would go for okay as well. I'd go for bottom of K. Like we know him well. We say know him well, but when I mentioned it to you the other day, you couldn't even remember who Harry Warden was. So I think that says a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we then go to Herbert West from the Reanimator series. Yep. This is a tough one as well. If you know the movies, you know Herbert West. Yeah. That's it though, I think. I know. Do you really know? See, that's a bit of... He's a great villain. He's got brains. He's also got good quips. He can be funny. He's very deadpanned. He's a good character. I cannot fucking remember who plays him. That's gone out of my head. Yeah. Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs. Wonderful portrayal of him, particularly in the original Reanimator. But even the sequels, Bride of Reanimator, there's a lot of fun to be had there. Yeah. But it is probably just okay. Yeah. But I'll put it top of okay. Yeah. Move it, there we go. Yeah. Okay. It is Jack Torrance. Yeah. As portrayed by Jack Nicholson. We are just doing the Jack Nicholson version of Jack Torrance here, as it is the most famous version of it. Jack Torrance of The Shining.
So I'm going to say legendary, and you're going to argue that.
I'm not putting him in legendary. It can't go in legend. Can it? If Candyman's in legendary.
Exactly. Like... If you said The Shining, here's Johnny, you know, the way, so much we watch parodies it, the fact that it's a human character, I find that scarier than something that couldn't be real.
Is he really the villain though? Now we had this with Cujo where we were like, is he really the villain? Jack Torrance is, it's the hotel that's the villain. Yeah. Jack Torrance is not a good man. We already know that, which is why he's so susceptible to the hotel's evil.
Well, good man's a bit unfair.
He's not a good... He has weaknesses make him not a good man. But he let those weaknesses consume him. Yeah. We didn't have to. Yeah. I think... because he's not a villain. Yeah, see what I mean? Is he a villain? But he is. Oh, yeah, fuck it. Let's just decide. I'll put him there.
Yeah.
No, not that. After Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, we get to another famous one. It is Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th, portrayed by many actors throughout the years, including variations on Jason's body size.
He doesn't talk, does he? So it's pretty easy to do.
True.
No, you won't have him, do you?
But of course, we are using the variation that would have the mask, but Jason actually didn't get the mask on Friday the 13th Part 3. Very important that. He wore a sack. He was not the villain in Friday the 13th Part 1.
Yeah.
And he wore a sack in Friday the 13th Part 2.
That's a quiz question, isn't it? Who's the the killer in...
Oh, that's so overdone.
Yeah.
So overdone. But it's this, you see that hockey mask. You see that hockey mask, you know Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Voorhees. He's been in a hell of a lot of movies. Even remakes, it was this iconic version of him as well. Even in the remakes, they used the mask and all that. Freddy versus Jason. He goes up there in the Legendary. Yeah. He does.
Well, think about it, it was like a groovy gang of like for horror villains. And when you see like any kind of posters drawn or kind of like artwork with horror villains, the ones we've got are pretty much, they're there.
Yeah.
That's like a standard.
It's a standard one. Where does he go?
I don't think, because he doesn't say anything. He's not got much of a personality.
After Freddy. Before Hannibal.
Before Hannibal, yeah.
I think that's about right. That seems about right. Okay, we now go to Fright Night, where we have Jerry Dandridge, the original Jerry Dandridge, not the one played by Colin Farrell. In the remake, I've chosen the original. Do you know this character?
I think I've seen it from years ago. I can't remember much about it. I remember he had like a really nice smile. Like,
He's super suave, super sexy. Oh yeah, he portrays a very sexualized version of a vampire, but he's also pretty fucking evil when he wants to be. He's, for me, when I think of it's hard. When you think of Fright Night has a great cast of characters. So it's not even necessarily that he stands out the best. He's a good vampire. Yeah. But
cultural impact.
Cultural impact, no, there's none there. So it might just be okay. Might just be okay.
Yeah.
I might put it after Herbert, before Cujo.
Before the Doglin. Yeah.
Okay. And we go to Tobin Bell's portrayal of Jigsaw. Obviously, the villain of the Saw series is part of, the overarching villain, but obviously, spoilers, he dies at the end of Saw 3. Yeah. There would be many Saws afterwards. Yeah. He would appear in flashbacks and stuff like that. So, Tobin Bell, obviously, pretty iconic.
Yeah,
but not the thing that's iconic about Saw.
No, I think the amount of films, would weaken the impact. I think if you have some people go, oh, another one, rather than just kind of finishing a trilogy nice and tight, I think people would go, oh, I might check it out. I might wait for it to come on TV. I don't think you lose that excitement. Yep. The more you go down the line with it. Personality-wise, I know he was dying, and obviously he had quite a lot on his mind, what he's putting together. But I don't know. Sometimes I like villains to have a bit more of a personality, a bit more charm, so you can love and hate them. See what I mean?
Oh, you haven't. No, see, you've not watched enough of the sequels to fully grasp that. See, I've got a different view. Yeah. I think they go too deep with him in the sequels, where again we're supposed to be like, poor him. Yeah. But then it's also like, wait, the system is shit, but you've gone too far with this. Yeah. Like you're just punishing people who are tied up in a system. It's the system that's the problem, John Kramer. Yeah. And you're punishing them. Real problem for me in later sequels. I'd struggle to see him as a villain out and out. But when you think of Saw, I actually think people think of Billy the Puppet. Yeah, but I couldn't put it in because that's not the villain. That's not a villain. It's just an animatronic he uses.
Yeah, like the Saw ride at Fort Park didn't have his picture. It was a picture of the Billy the Puppet.
So I think memorable.
Yeah, so I'd go just like bottom memorable.
Ooh, no, that's silly. Nope. Okay. I would put this after Damien, before Babadook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before Babadook.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Overall, yeah. Okay. I'll let you have that one.
Another difficult one, we come to John Doe, portrayed by Kevin Spacey from Seven. When he does finally reveal his face, which is ultimately in the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, it's an incredible portrayal. Kevin Spacey is very, very dark and wonderful in it. And he is the villain of the piece, the overarching villain of it. His work is constantly in the background and stuff like that. But I don't think people think of John Donne when they think of Seven. They think of the events.
But then that's orchestrated by him.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, the amount of work, like you see from his notebooks, you know, how much thought went into things, how long he took to kill people, and like he didn't just kind of it was so thought out that that's what made him very villainous.
Yeah.
You know.
So where would you put him?
I think legendary.
No way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go any higher than memorable.
Oh, okay. Well, split the difference and call B list then.
All right, we'll split difference at B list.
Bottom of B list then.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then that's kind of split the difference.
All right. Legendary. Legendary.
And also Kevin Spacey's a bit of a knob, so when you watch it now, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I get to dislike you even more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we get Leatherface, obviously from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you said it earlier on when you said about, like, you get a poster of horror villains. They will have certain ones on.
Yeah.
You'll have Freddy Krueger, you'll have Friday the 13th, Jason, you'll have Hannibal Lecter, and you will also have Leatherface. So that puts him in a legendary bracket already.
Yeah.
The question is, where do we put him? I think after Hannibal Lecter, but before Jack Torrance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice and easy. Then we come to Lord Summerisle of the Wicker Man, portrayed by Christopher Lee, his second appearance in this.
Never seen the film.
So it's only one movie. The remake would actually go for a woman in the role of the leader of the island. I can't remember who plays that person, but I thought this is a good portrayal. It's okay at best. The reason being is because not that memorable.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it is. His niceties and then his overarching lordness and stuff like that is cool as fuck. Christopher Lee obviously holds the screen to a certain amount of degree, but it's just okay at best, I think. Top of okay. Top of okay. Because it's still Christopher Lee.
I gotta say, if you said to someone, "Oh, I know the Wicker, an image from the Wicker Man," you might not know the character's name or anything.
But I think you picture that image, which is the tower and Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do think.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're really going to have anything in the rubbish here, to be honest. I think I chose too many good ones.
Yeah.
Margaret White, the mother of Carrie. I chose this one based on the fact that I don't think Carrie's a villain.
No.
I don't. Even the villainous act at the end
She's a victim.
is a victim. Yeah, she's a victim. Yeah. But Margaret White, the mother, is a villain.
Yeah. You're using religion as...
She's abusive, mentally, physically. She's a damaged individual. But unfortunately, it's not what you remember about Carrie.
No.
When you rewatch it, you're like, oh yeah, you're horrid.
Yeah.
But when you think of Carrie and what Carrie is in pop culture, it's not this.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Where and okay? Top?
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, she goes from like, controlling at first, or just like, she just progresses, isn't she? She gets more and more.
Well, the image I've chosen is a great one, the smiling with the knife,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's a bit of both, really. Huh.
Okay, one I don't think you're going to know at all. It is the villain of the later Saw movies, Detective Hoffman. Mark Hoffman, portrayed by Costas... can't remember his last name.
I remember him.
Okay. He is actually, for starters, very important in this. No real layers with Hoffman. He's a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is going to be very controversial.
Dirty cop, isn't he?
Dirty cop.
Yeah.
Who continued Jigsaw's work and then spends a lot of the latter movies trying so hard to clean up his own mess. And it goes off it. Yeah. But I dare I say, I like him more than Tobin Bell's Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I like Hoffman way more because he's just a fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
And when he finally gets his comeuppance, when he finally does, you're like,
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, you finally got it,
But that's what I kind of said before about the personality point. There's personality that draws you more to him, going, "Oh, you're such a bastard." Mm-hmm. Whereas going, "Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, but yeah, he's also dying of cancer." Do you know what I mean?
I put it this way, when I think of Saw later movies, I think of the moment where I was sure, because I hadn't seen him when I was watching Mordor for the reviews. I was like, and he finally get the face trap put on him, and I was like, this is it. He's gonna die.
Yeah.
And he manages to get out of it. He gets his cheek ripped open, but he survives it, and the movie ends. I was like, you fuck.
Yeah.
You
that's a good
fucker.
villain. That's a good
Do you know what I
villain.
mean?
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
When people think of Saw, they're not going to think of him.
No.
So it's just okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'd also put him quite low in okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe after Herbert West, before Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Mark Hoffman. I like you.
Yeah.
Mary Shaw from Dead Silence. wicked imagery, old lady,
Yeah.
controls the dolls, but big problem. This is a not a well-known movie. People who've seen Dead Silence tend to say, yeah, that's quite good. It's quite scary and creepy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the image I've chosen is where she peers out of the darkness.
Yeah.
You remember her when you've seen the movie. Say Mary Shaw to anyone out there? No.
I just think it's popped up on Netflix again, so it might get a bit more love.
Maybe might get a bit more love than that. Which brings us to the real question then. Does it belong in okay or does it go in rubbish?
Yeah, it's not very original character.
It's not a very original villain. She's just using puppets.
Based on a urban legend, like a myth, that kind of thing. Dime a dozen, really.
Let's put it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mary Shaw.
Yeah.
Legendary. It's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
It is Michael Myers. And I've got it's all Michael Myers. Ultimately, whether you love the Rob Zombie movies or not, Michael Myers. It's the mask.
Yeah.
It is the shape. Exactly what it is. I would put this, ahead of Freddy after Dracula?
Yeah.
Or top of it?
Top. I'd go top.
Interesting. It's probably one of the most iconic masks.
It's going against me because obviously the personality thing, but I think that's what makes him so scary.
Which is where Rob Zombie fucked up, innit?
Yeah.
Try to make him human.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael Myers. There's really not a lot you can say. I don't think there's no one out there. You'd probably go to an Amazonian jungle. Where there's an ancient tribe who've never seen the thing and show them the mask and they'll be like, oh, Michael Myers. Yeah. And then, of course, we get to Anthony Perkins' wonderful, wonderful portrayal of Norman Bates. Psycho.
Never seen Psycho. Oh, a lot of films. I've got a lot of classic films I've got to watch.
I've seen all the Psychos.
Yeah.
I've seen them all. I adore Anthony Perkins as a human being as well. I must say that as well. Go and read up about Anthony Perkins. He's a good man. And I think that's very important. He was a good man. And he is wonderful. That picture I've chosen is the finale of it, where he's talking outside the courtroom and basically saying, "Well, I'm going to get away with this because this is how." And it's such a evil little bastard, you know. Later films where he struggles to kind of get past the issues he had, amazing stuff. He gets a lot more depth and detail to him, where he's actually not really a villain in one of the later movies, which is quite cool in itself. It's legendary.
Yeah.
You think Norman Bates, you think Anthony Perkins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how shocking was that reveal in the 60s?
Well, because I knew.
Obviously, it's one of the most famous reveals ever.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still an amazing movie. It's an amazing character. For me, Norman Bates is iconic, so legendary. Up there alongside, again, it's one you often would see part of a poster.
Yeah.
I'd put it up there alongside the other gang. Maybe after Leatherface?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, right. We now come to the third of the Devil's Rejects, the third character. We are with Otis Driftwood, portrayed by Bill Moseley.
Yeah.
And often the best thing about Rob Zombie's movie, whether it's his pale, long-haired version from House of a Thousand or his Charles Manson-esque version in Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell. He's the highlight of Three from Hell.
Yeah.
He always is.
The way you talk, the way you kind of
the rambling
the lines.
speeches.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, sometimes that is overplayed. I think Rob Zombie is very aware of putting those in.
Let me say this. Think of this line. This is one of my favourite lines. Boy, the next words that come out of your mouth better be some Mark Twain shit, because that's getting etched on your tombstone, something like that. Really there you go. So, I mean, shit like that.
Yeah, because in that sentence, he sums up that he's read. He sums up that he's read the threat he's got. You know, I'm gonna kill you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
He's top of B-list in my opinion. Above pop culture. Shit.
I think because obviously there are the three main.
But I'm looking at the fact we've got Ghostface and Chucky. I think it might go ahead of Spalding, innit? Yeah. After all that, we have to put them there. Pamela Voorhees, the villain of Friday the 13th, the original. It's one of those tiresome quiz questions. How many kills or, you know, who was the killer in Friday the 13th original? Obviously, it wasn't Jason, it was Pamela Voorhees.
I think she should go with Scary Mums. She should go with Margaret White.
Yeah, I think that's cool because...
she's okay. It's nothing...
when she talks in the child's voice, kill her, mummy, kill her. It kind of sticks out on you. She dies in a cool way, decapitation. I think top of okay. I think she's more memorable than Margaret White, arguably.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then we get to Patrick Bateman, portrayed by, I've forgotten his name. Christian Bale in American Psycho. It's not a great movie in my opinion.
Love this film.
It's grotesque at times.
Yeah, the book's worse.
The book's way worse.
This is tame. This is like a PG version of the book.
Which is saying it's not a PG film, so take our word for it on that. However, doesn't Christian Bale have a lot of fun doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of it, you think of the Huey Lewis. Yeah, and the, hey Paul,
I just don't
the dropping the chainsaw down the thing, the running around naked covered in blood.
Talking about Phil Collins to prostitutes.
The card scene, the comparing cards. I mean, I remember, I've only seen this movie once or twice, really? And I remember so much of it. The way, he's holding the card and you can see them.
Just, yeah.
It is it's memorable.
Yeah, and the backdrop of the 80s kind of must have fueled a lot of like the cocaine money thrown at these young people. Mm-hmm. And like the whole idea of a lot of argument was, did it actually happen or did you just imagine it to kind of give himself a bit more personality, a bit more interesting kind of character. So I think he's fantastic in that role. I'd go B-list for me.
I would as well, because I think I'd put him above John Doe after Spalding.
Yeah. Really enjoyed that film.
And we have Pazuzu, the demonic force that is the main villain of the Exorcist trilogy and the Exorcist beginning. All the Exorcists, basically.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard, this one, because ultimately it's so focused on Regan and stuff like that that you kind of forget Pazuzu is the demonic villain of this movie. It's said a few times in the original. Obviously, we open with Father Merrin, looking at the Pazuzu statue. You have the image I've used in there where Regan breaks out of bed and she's doing the movement, and you get that shadow Pazuzu statue in the background. Pazuzu itself is portrayed in it by a woman covered in face, briefly popping up once or twice. But I don't think it's what people remember. I think actually, if you asked a lot of people, who's the villain of The Exorcist? They'd probably say, the demon and the devil.
Just a general demon,
Not Pazuzu.
No.
Which means it only goes in okay, I think.
Yeah. And it is a demon. See what I mean? There's demon films aplenty. The thing that made most impact on me is when the face flashed up. That brief flash. And the whole...
Top of okay.
Yeah.
Top of okay ahead of the mothers.
Yeah.
And then we come to... Pennywise the Clown, as portrayed by Tim Curry. Yeah. I am not including Skarsgård's version, Bill Skarsgård's version. Even though that is a good role, I still believe, and I think we'll see it now, as time goes by, you would still Google Pennywise the Clown and you'll get Tim Curry's version. Because obviously it's been loved so heavily. Yep. And I think that's why it has to be this variation we judge more than anything else. Here's the thing. It's iconic. But I don't really... It's hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes too silly.
Because I think I love Stephen King's work, but I think sometimes films, they're just so fucking wacky. And sometimes in your imagination they work, and sometimes physically seeing it, how someone else has imagined it, doesn't go with what you've read. Does that make sense?
Well, we've also got to take into account what it really is, which is that giant spider at the end.
Yeah.
Which isn't so great.
Yeah, so kind of...
B-list?
Yeah.
Because I can't just put any lower because obviously the clown itself is so iconic.
Yeah.
Top of B-list?
Yeah, especially that picture you picked as well. Like the teeth. Yeah.
And we continue with another strong one. It is Pinhead. Yeah. The face of the Hellraiser series. Using the version portrayed by Doug Bradley, portrayed it mostly. There are other actors who would later do roles of him. But ultimately when you think Pinhead, you think of Doug Bradley.
Yeah, when you said Pinhead and played by Doug Bradley, I would say other Pinheads are available. I'd say legendary.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that go in the poster, doesn't it?
Just the whole idea of what he is, and there's no love or niceness about the things he brings from hell with him, and that film stuck in my head so much, just being people ripped apart and. It's just, because sometimes people try and glamorise hell and go all be like sexy demons and succubus, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, no, it's like.
Well, Hellraiser does try to sexy it up because their idea of pleasure is pain and stuff like that.
No, but in the same, but they actually look fucking horrific.
Oh yeah.
Sexy
the image is fantastic.
Yeah, amazing, and especially the pinhead when you picture literally what's been gone into his head.
Well, it goes up there alongside our block of Freddy, Friday, Hannibal, Leatherface.
I'd put him in between Lecter and Leatherface.
That's cool. I like that.
I like that, Lecter and Leatherface.
Now we have Henry Kane, Reverend Henry Kane, he's the villain of the Poltergeist movies. However, you don't see this physical embodiment until the second movie. Yeah. And I can tell you now, this was one of the scariest things I saw as a youngster. It is terrifying, the paleness and all that. But the part that really scared me, and really, really still is quite upsetting today, is when you get those flashes of him and his cult followers in the pit, and he's covered in water, and they're reaching out and grabbing him, and he's screaming, singing songs, and they're burying themselves on the ground where they're left to die. He's horrific. Horrific. But
I think if you said Poltergeist, people don't
think of this.
No.
Absolutely not. It had an impact on me, but not widespread. So it goes on okay.
Yeah.
And I might put it after Lord Summer's Isle, before West.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me get Sadoko from The Ring. Choosing the J-horror version of The Ring for this. There's not loads to say about this because she's a victim as well, but ultimately she's a villain. As a face, you don't really see it. It's the black hair over it. But fuck me, is it iconic?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely iconic.
Yeah, just that picture, you know
exactly what it is.
What you're getting, and
they would change the name for the American version, Samara, I think it is.
Yeah.
But it's the same character, so it can be lumped into two more than anything else. But the image are coming out of the well, walking towards the TV. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. So it's B-list, I think.
Definitely.
Top of B-list. No, maybe after Ghostface.
Yeah.
Ahead of Chucky.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Annabelle, one of the other doors, obviously famous from The Conjuring and the Annabelle movies.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one, this one, because it's one of the more iconic doors these days that people know. And the fact it's kind of based off a real doll, who I think is scarier than the original.
Yeah.
I think it's memorable.
Yeah, I'm just... for me, I just... I think it's just a lazy...
It's memorable.
I don't know. Yeah.
Top of memorable. Top. Yeah, it can't.
No,
people
Buffalo
know.
Bill?
People know Annabelle. But I think people know. I'd argue actually no. Think about this. Do people know Annabelle more than they know John Doe? Yes. Did they know them more than they know Patrick Bateman? Then. Yes. Did they know them more than Captain Spaulding? Yes. Did they know them more than Otis Driftwood? Yes. Alongside Chucky.
No.
After Chucky.
No, because that
just because you don't like it, you've got to think about really. You go to a person in the street and go, "Do you know Annabelle?" Yes. Do you know who John Doe is?
Film I've seen in my life.
Yeah, but that's not what we're doing here.
I know that, but still, I thought it was a bit of both. So I don't think she should go.
But that's because you don't like it. I just asked you. Go to a person in the street who's Patrick Bateman.
Bottom of memorable.
Nope.
Okay.
No, because you've got to think about this. Go to a person in the street who's Captain Spaulding.
Yeah.
Who is Otis Driftwood.
Yeah.
Who's Chucky. That's where you stop.
Yeah.
That's where she goes.
Okay.
Okay, then of course we go to The Fly.
I've not seen it. Not seen The Fly.
Really?
No.
Okay. I've forgotten the character's name.
Seth Brundle.
Seth Brundle, brilliant.
I've used it as a quiz question, so I know
obviously
the name.
portrayed by Jeff Goldblum. I really like him in this. You know, the nerdy, geeky version that becomes a bit more suave and sexy when he gets infected with a fly, and obviously the eventual transformation. It's pretty memorable.
I'd like to see the film actually.
Pretty memorable. Yeah. This variation, this one is only in one. Obviously, the sequels would use other ones. I think it's pretty memorable. I think I'd put this up above Babadook and after Saw, Tobin Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out The Fly.
Okay, cool. Then we come to Syl from the Species films. Truth be told, pop culture, no one knows this.
What's your theme? Was it a lady?
A woman.
A
woman alien. It was a very sexy movie. She would seduce men.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of nudity.
Not like that.
Not like that. No, that's the alien variation of her. The Species movies are hit and miss. There are several variations on it as well. Natasha Hendridge portrayed Syl in the first two, I believe, and then they would change characters later on. With daughter one as well. So there's not many of them. But truth be told, no one knows this character. You have to know the movies to know him. So it goes in rubbish.
Yeah.
Plus, it is just an alien. Yeah. But I'll put top of rubbish. Slenderman. Interesting one, because there's only one movie about it, really.
And that film was...
And that movie was a horrible portrayal of Slenderman, in my opinion. It's an iconic thing, but we are talking about movie villains here. Yeah. This goes in rubbish.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
And but everyone knows Slenderman. There is that, so it's top of rubbish.
Yeah.
Then we go to Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. Now, I have to do something here, which is remember that no one knows this.
A very small percentage of people know Tarman.
And it's not really the main villain. It's just the iconic villain of the Return of the Living Dead. The zombies are the villains. Yeah. But as a sort of overarching character that people associate with it, it is the one that stands out. Yeah. So I think okay. Yeah. But I've got to think about how would people really know it. No. I think maybe...
They probably remember Trash more. From like the posters, because obviously posters featured her quite heavily, and you know her actual role in the film. She does the sexy part as well.
After Margaret White, before Lord Summer Isle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we get to the Crawlers, a group of villains from The Descent. They're the creatures in the darkness. No real description to them. Nothing really about them. They're just eyeless, blind creatures that crawl around in the dark.
They've just evolved like that.
That's true. They're just living their own lives. You guys. You live your own life.
This is what happens when you're crazy enough to go into small caves. You might end up stuck down there and end up like one of them crawlers. So this is why I don't want to go cave diving. I think the caves are more the villains. I think the actual cave system, because it doesn't take any prisoners, and if you end up stuck in there, that's it. You're done, and you end up a crawler.
Where would you put it?
I'd put. I'd have to go with rubbish. Because they are just sort of like evolved humans. They're not very memorable. If I had a picture of it, I don't think I remember a picture of it unless someone said, "Oh, this is from the actual film." Because you don't see much of them. I think that's what's scary. It's more a combination of the caves, the fact they're a fractured group, and then they've got these crawlers kind of coming after them. You don't see much of them, which is what we liked about the film. We don't see like tons of them in that sense. Yeah, rubbish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they haven't got a real name, really. They've got a name called the Crawlers, but that's just because of what... I mean, it's not like a race, it's just...
No, absolutely.
So, yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, continuing with a group, we have the Demons from Demons, which is basically almost more like a zombie infection than anything else.
Yeah.
They're a terrifying group when they're infected with it and what they become. Yeah. I think they're pretty memorable, but again, I have that problem where I'm like, do people really know them?
They probably know more from the poster because they're given quite kind of iconic.
They are they're in the name. They're more. It's not rubbish.
No.
But I think maybe just okay or memorable.
I think okay because they are zombies. They are they're demons. They are just demons.
Where an okay.
I'd go top of okay.
What, ahead of Tarman? No, demons.
Okay. Well, wait, just behind Tarman then.
Ahead of Lord Summersisle. Yeah. No, I think Summersisle is more well known.
Between the guy from
Henry Kane and there,
I've forgotten his name.
Okay, Annie Wilkes. Annie Wilkes from Misery, obviously portrayed by Kathy Bates. An incredible role. People know this. Yeah. They know her. Castle Rock is the TV series that's running right now.
That's his company, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's another variation in that I've heard is quite good, but this is the one people are going to remember. Obviously, I do wonder if it's more the scenes than, say, the character.
Yeah, because obviously even like things like Family Guy have done a parody of Misery where not Roger.
Stewie.
No, the dog.
Stewie and Brian.
Brian's the writer, obviously, the struggling writer, and Stewie's Annie Wilkes. I think she's a really good character because she goes from caring and
it's a B-list character. B-list.
Yeah. There's no argument there.
But it's where we put her not above Pennywise or Ghostface, above Sudoku.
Yeah.
Well, there's an argument people know that more than that.
Yeah, maybe just behind there.
Yeah, ahead of Chucky.
Yeah.
Interesting list. Right, almost done. The Pirates. The Fog Pirates from The Fog.
Arr.
They're a group. They're almost always shrouded in black with just the red eyes. They are cool. They are what you remember.
They are just pirates.
There were lepers as well. Lepers. Leprosy sufferers. Oh, tough one, isn't it?
If you say The Fog, I don't think you'd...
Do you not think of them?
Yeah.
What do you think of when you think of The Fog then, though?
Just...
Because they are The Fog.
Just the main character. Just Jamie Lee Curtis.
Really?
Yeah.
I think maybe they go in okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Maybe even ahead of Demons.
Yeah, no, after, because Demons are part of the poster. I think the fog they didn't.
I've got a good place for it. I can see where it goes right there.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
The Pale Man. Why have I forgotten the name of the movie?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Spanish horror film by Guillermo del Toro. It's a pretty famous creature. People tend to think of that thing.
Its image is always.
But I don't know if it's popular in culture.
No, it's not rubbish because the sheer design of it is pretty cool.
Yeah, Doug Jones portrays it.
And it's only from that film, so it's not like it's unnameable, ghost or demon. It's actually something from someone's imagination.
Memorable?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think end of memorable.
I might put it above Schnard and Baby because I feel like they're lesser known. Okay. It is the shark from Jaws. Right, everyone, you can please agree with me. The shark in Jaws is not called Jaws. The movie is called Jaws. The shark is just the shark. It is not Jaws the shark. It is just the shark. It's a shark.
We're hunting the shark. Which one? There's a lot in the sea. Not just one shark.
We don't name sharks.
We name this one because he's so cool.
It's not. It's the shark from Jaws. It's a shark.
Where are we putting Jaws?
Legendary. We're putting the shark in Legendary, of course.
Give him the right name and we will.
Where would you put
Jaws?
The shark?
Stop it. Jaws is... look at him.
It's famous. It is. You think Jaws, you think the shark.
But is he a real villain, though? He's just doing his shark thing,
okay, yeah, fair enough. He's doing his shark thing.
Yeah. Like, he didn't ask for these people. Literally, they're just kind of giving him stuff to do. They're just throwing themselves in the water. It's a buffet at Amity. Is it Amity?
But they're sharks, evil little bastards.
They're not.
They are.
They're just animals. They're just doing their own thing. They're not like the ones
that kill that kid.
Yeah, but the kid should have been in the sea.
Okay.
The sea's his like territory.
Where are we putting it?
Jaws is gonna go. Is he really a villain? Memorable.
Top of memorable?
Yeah.
Right, the shark goes on top of memorable.
Because in the scheme of things, he's not really a villain.
Fair dues, I'll go with that.
Just misunderstood.
Okay, cool. The shark is in the top of memorable.
Okay,
and then we come next to the tall man, who is the main villain of Phantasm. This gets a little bit muddied and blurred as it goes on when we're introduced to Jebediah Morningwood. And you kind of see what happens. And also, later on, you would see that the tall man is more of an entity than anything else. A shell than anything else. The entity. However, if you know Phantasm, you know this character.
It's an iconic image.
That boy is so fucking memorable.
Yeah.
But I don't think people know Phantasm that well.
No.
That's the problem.
No, very sort of select few. I wouldn't go, that's like if I didn't see it, if I didn't know, I'd be like, what's that from?
Memorable.
Yep.
A top. After the Pale Man, ahead of Baby.
Yeah.
Continuing with entities, then we have the entity that is the Thing. Yeah. Very hard to kind of put this as what it is ultimately, because ultimately we only see it as a variation on what it does to other people.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really go, what is this villain really? Which makes it hard. It can't go in Legendary. It can't, because we have no real idea what it is. And the Thing remake / sequel / prequel would muddy the waters by making an alien creature at the end. Yeah. Which really fucked things up a bit.
It just feels wrong not to put the Thing in Legendary. It just feels
I don't know
wrong.
Here's the thing is, we adore the movie, but is it on par with what we've put in there? In pop culture? In pop culture?
Yeah, not in pop culture, but just like, when you say people that watch horror.
No, but we're not talking...
I know, but it just feels wrong.
The Thing cannot be ranked alongside Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Hannibal Lecter, Pinhead, Leatherface. The Thing is not part of those t-shirts or posters. It's not. It's not.
No.
Even Candyman, not ahead of Pennywise, not ahead of Ghostface.
No, because normally you get to get a picture of Frosty Kurt Russell, didn't you? In like pictures and stuff. Oh.
Not ahead of the Ring. Not ahead of Annie Wilkes. Not ahead of Chucky. After Chucky.
Oh man.
Yep, there you go. I think we just worked it out. I think that's right.
I think it's gonna come and get me now. It's gonna come morph into me, and I'm gonna like.
Vera Cosgrove, the villain, the real villain of Brain Dead. Not the zombies, circumstances, they get infected. Vera Cosgrove, though, Lionel's mother, is just a nasty woman.
Yeah, I think okay. She's a mum. She's a horrible, nasty mum.
There you go. We'll put her alongside the women.
All the mums. Oh, sexiest.
And then we come to the finale, the last one. And it is the Xenomorph, the star of the Alien franchise. One of the most iconic creatures designed by H.R. Geiger. Yeah, it's legendary. Of course it's legendary.
Of course they are. Yeah.
Absolutely. From Alien to Aliens to Alien 3 to Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator. Yeah. You see it. You see it. You know it.
Are they a real villain, though? Because
yes.
Like the Queen one's just trying to do her thing and look after Connolly.
No, they're destructive to a world. Their goal is to infect and destroy. It's a parasite almost. Yeah, their entire thing is. Yeah. That's what it is. That makes it a bad thing. Yeah. It's legendary. It's alongside them. I would put it almost near the top.
Yeah.
I would maybe put this above
Lecter.
No, higher.
Okay.
It's a Xenomorph.
Yeah.
It's a Xenomorph.
I think if you said Xenomorph, though, not everyone... I think people just know it is.
But then you go, the monster from Alien.
Yeah.
The Alien.
Yeah. Between Dracula and Freddy?
I'm really thinking about putting this top.
Okay.
I think it may be one more known than Myers.
Get off her, you bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's really hard.
No, between Dracula and
Myers.
Yeah, Myers is top. Even that picture you got, that tile picture is like, yeah.
There we go. There's a rank, and we'll quickly run through them. So we put 4 in the rubbish. We chose Mary Shaw of Dead Silence and Sill of Species, alongside the Crawlers from The Descent and Slenderman, based on simply their impact. Yep. In our OK bracket, we have Harry Warden of My Bloody Valentine, Cujo of Cujo, Derry Dandridge, the original Fright Night, Mark Hoffman of Saw, the Pirates from The Fog, what's his name? Herbert West from Reanimator, Henry Kane from Poltergeist 2 onwards, Demons from Demons, Lord Summerisle from The Wicker Man, thank you, Tarman, which breaks my heart, from The Return of the Living Dead, Margaret White from Carrie, Pamela Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Vera Cosgrove from Brain Dead, and Pazuzu from The Exorcist. Yep. We don't believe that lot are memorable in regards to pop culture. Ones we do think is Dr. Henry Schnard. I actually think he's in the wrong place. I don't think he should be a memorable. If Look Who's an OK, he's got to move down one, hasn't he? Yeah. He's got to move down. And I think I might put him there. Yeah. Yep, so we'll put that, Baby Firefly. The Talk from House and all them, Rob Zombie's trilogy. The Tall Man from Phantasm. The Pale Man from, I've forgotten again, Pan's Labyrinth. Babadook from Babadook. Seth Brundle from The Fly. Tobin Bell's portrayal of Jigsaw in Saw. Damien Thorne from The Omen. Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. And the Shark from Jaws. Our B list, so our second highest, we have John Doe. Can't. Are we seriously saying the Shark is less famous than John Doe?
But his impact, and Shark's not really a villain.
Right. Patrick Bateman from Psycho. Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand and all them. Annabelle of Annabelle fame. Otis Driftwood from the Zombie trilogy. Chucky, obviously of Chucky fame. The Thing from The Thing. Annie Wilkes from Misery, Sadoko Samara from The Ring, Ghostface from Scream, and Pennywise from It. I think that top part is bang on. Yeah. Our legendary villains then. We have Candyman from Candyman. We have Jack Torrance from The Shining. And we have Anthony Perkins. Why have I forgotten his name?
Oh, I can't remember his name either.
Norman Bates from Psycho. Hannibal Lecter. Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Pinhead from Hellraiser, Hannibal Lecter from Silence and so on, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, Count Dracula, as portrayed by Christopher Lee, the Xenomorph, and Michael Myers we have put as the best. It's hard, they're all pretty alongside each other, but I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think we did. Because it's funny sometimes looking at certain things and go, okay, I really love that, but again, the impact it's made. And as a villain, I like that.
There you go. There's our 50 villains. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl as well as Big Cartel where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror, and heavy metal. What else is life for?